What's up YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to use Calyrex Shadow Rider in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun me movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put it below in the comment section of the video. If you enjoy these, they help you out, drop a like and let's get into it. So Calyrex is an absolutely amazing Pokemon, super sweaty, but I thought I'd cover it anyway because I plan on covering all the Pokemon. So Calyrex obviously is a primarily special attacker. It's very fast and it's very hard, and it's got a very powerful ability too. So it's got the combination of Grim Neigh and Unnerve, so very powerful abilities for sure. So every time it faints a Pokemon, it's going to get a special attack boost, and it already stacks very high with its super high special attack set. So the first sets you'll probably see the most and probably are the easiest to use are either Choice Scarf or Choice Spec sets. So these ones are pretty good for just stockpiling and snowballing boosts and sweeping the opponent. They do have their weaknesses though, so let's go over that. So its best move obviously is going to be Astral Barrage. 120 base power, 100% accuracy, it's never going to miss, and it's going to hit really hard. Since it is a Psychic and Ghost type Pokemon, it's good to have a Psychic move on there too. So we got Psychic as, it's probably its best for singles, I'd say. This is going to be more of a single set. So we've got Psychic as its best standalone Psychic move. Unless you've got a terrain up on the field, then you might be able to go to Expanding Force and stuff like that too. You could also try Psyshock as well on there. Psyshock isn't all that bad. It can actually turn Calyrex into a mixed kind of sweeper. But with Choice Specs and Choice Scar set, I would definitely keep just Psychic on there. And that's going to probably be your best bet. Obviously, you're locked into Choice Scarf too, so unless you feel like, getting rid of that with Trick earlier on. Now, the next move we got in here is Giga Drain. Giga Drain is fairly good because it has coverage against a lot of Pokemon that, ground-type Pokemon. If you're going against Pokemon like Groudon, if you're playing, against other legendary Pokemon, which you probably would, it's good for that. And also, Grass Knot's not a bad one too. I like Giga Drain because it gets your health back, in comparison to Grass Knot, which only you get like a bonus for, weight-based Pokemon. The last move I put on there is Trick, because Trick is still handy. You can shut down a Pokemon that's stalling you, and you can then use your other 3 moves there. And you're still going to be very fast at the same time as well. For Terras, you've got Ghosts for Astral Barrage. You can have Terra-type Psychic, or you could even have a more of a defensive one here being Fairy, because obviously this is very weak to Ghost-type moves and Dark type moves. They're going to drop Calyrex super easily, so you have to be very mindful about them. And Calyrex has pretty good coverage against most things, but when you Terra, it sort of depends on that, right? Because when you Terra, then you're weak to other priority moves and stuff like that too. So you sort of have to figure out what you're doing there with the rest of your team. But, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, max special attack and max speed for singles, definitely Tip of Nature. That's going to make, you want that extra speed because you're going to be boosting your special attack with its ability on feigning Pokemon. For Choice Specs, I'd keep Timbered as well. It's just going to hit harder, basically. Now, that's pretty straightforward there with Calyrex. Next set you can have is a Nasty Plot set. Nasty Plot is very good on this Pokemon because it already has amazing special attack already. So after one of them, it's going to be hitting really hard, and then you're going to get, you're going to snowball a lot quicker here. There's a couple of items you can run on it. I ran heavy duty boots for singles, and if you want to run maybe in doubles, this kind of set, you could opt for something like Focus Sash. Focus Sash isn't bad because it allows you to at least get one hit up of Nasty Plot, and then you can attack. And if you've got maybe a partner with a ability or something like that, like Farigiraf, that could help too. But we'll get on some more doubles in a sec with that. So either Focus Sash is good as well. So Nasty Plot, Astral Barrage, Psyshock, making it a mixed sweeper is pretty important. So if you've got any special defensive walls, that's very, very good, right? Something like an example like Blissey or something like that, that's going to absolutely destroy it. And I gave it Terra Blast Fighting. This gives you good coverage against any dark type Pokemon too, and any, say Sucker Punch, which is, a very, very common move aimed at Calyrex. You're going to be able to resist that and take it out. So it's going to be, quite a nice Terra to go for there. So max special attack and max speed, timid nature, same sort of thing there. It's going to work very, very well, across the board there. Some other terrors you could do. I'm just trying to think of anything else that would be, okay. Maybe more defensive ones. You could have Terra Normal on there, so any ghost moves aimed at you, you could, get yourself a free nasty plot up there. That could work. I would change Terra Blast, though, if you're going to do that. So I would change it to, like, something... I don't know, like, probably... Let's get rid of that for a sec. If you're not going to run that on there, I would probably do something like... You could put Draining Kiss on there. That's not a bad move. Or you could put Giga Drain on there as well. So you wouldn't need normal Terra Blast. So that's another good way of getting around that and getting a free nasty pull-up and maybe retaining your Focus Sash as well. So yeah, pretty straightforward sort of set there. Let's have a look at some double stuff, because doubles does change a little bit, and what you want to use of the two is important. So probably a set that works fairly well is a Focus Sash set, like what I said before. And you want to be pairing this with some Pokemon that can block priority moves. That's the best sort of Pokemon. So I would suggest... definitely with a double set like this. So Astral Barrage, Expanding Force, Nasty Plot, and Protect. With Expanding Force, you want to have something like Indeedee. That's a very, very good... Indeedee Female. That's a very, very good partner for it, because that's going to summon the Psychic Surge. And that's also going to have stuff like, Helping Hand, and Follow Me and stuff like that. So that's going to be super, super handy with a Calyrex, right? So that's Psychic Terrain is going to block all the priority moves aimed at Calyrex. So it can then go through and, take no damage and get a lot of boosts up there. Also going to be powering up Expanding Force too, so it gets a 1.5 times power boost. And it's very, very powerful, like, little combination there of Pokemon. Plus, Indeedee is also a normal type Pokemon too. So any redirection, ghost redirection, boom, it's going to work rather nicely on that too. Nasty Plot and Protect sort of works around that, and we've got Terra type Psychic. You can do a couple of like Terras on this too. You could also do Terra type Ghost, definitely too. So you could power up the Astral Barrage. That's going to be really, really good too. So that's definitely one that you could go for there. There's other defensive ones like Fairy you could do, and Normal. There are other options too, but you're just going to be like blasting through the opponent basically with Astral Barrage. That's going to be very, very good. And then anything else, just hit it with an Expanding Force. And that's virtually it. It's going to work very, very nicely for sure. Another support Pokemon I suggest for this set, normally I do this at the end, but I thought I wanted to mention this now, is Farigiraf. So Farigiraf, when you've got it, I've done a guide on Farigiraf and Indeedee as well. When you've got these two together in doubles, it's got Armor Tail ability. So this is going to be protecting it and its allies from any priority moves. So it's like having a... you could say it's like having a Psychic Surge on the field too. So that could be kind of nice. And also can set up Psychic Terrain at the same time as well if you want that, extra boost there. So that's pretty cool. That's another Pokemon you can have with it as well. It's also a normal type at the same time as well, and it has a lot of support moves that it can use with Calyrex. So that would be probably my number one sort of pick. Those two would be my number one picks with a Calyrex Shadow Rider there. EVs, I like running them offensive. If you want to live like certain moves and stuff, you can sort of tone down the special attack a little bit. If you want to, and put a little bit more into health, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just generally speaking here. If you want to do more like involved EVs to be able to live certain hits from certain Pokemon, you can absolutely do that and get away with it. It's still going to be very, very powerful, and especially if you got something like Indeedee or like a Helping Hand Pokemon alongside it, that's going to be very, very useful for sure. Not a bad one as well, while we're on that topic, is Clefairy. Clefairy's not bad too. So you've got Friend Guard, and I've done a Clefairy guide too if you want to check that out. And Follow Me, it's not too bad either. That's not a bad partner Pokemon. You can sponge a few attacks with Clefairy, and then you can sort of set up Nasty Plot if needed. So there's some good allies and suggestions there. Let's check out another set here. This one I don't mind. This is a little bit different. So this is like a Terra Fairy set, and we're making use of Draining Kiss. So Draining Kiss is actually really good because it does a good amount of damage once you've got a few Astral Barrage, maybe KOs up your sleeve or boosts, and then you can start going for Draining Kiss and getting lots of health back there. Plus you could go Terra-type Fairy, and a Dark-type comes out. You can go Terra-type Fairy and Draining Kiss with a Life Orb is going to do a lot of damage there. Plus you're going to get your health back too, which is going to be very handy. You can also make Calyrex a little bit more bulky by using Calm Mind. If you don't want to make yourself more bulky, you just want straight up raw base power, you can easily use Nasty Plot too. Just trying to suggest some other things. And Expanding Force. So once again, Indeedee female would make a very good partner for Calyrex Shadow Rider. So I'd say that's probably my favorite one to use of that. If I was using competitive Calyrex, I'd put Indeedee female. It's just a perfect partner for it. They have really, really good synergy and help each other out a lot. This one, same sort of EVs, max special attack and max speed, Timid Nature, and Terra-type Fairy. And I gave it Life Orb as well, so Life Orb for more damage. If you're concerned about secondary stuff like, say a Pokemon's got like Snarl and things like that, you can go Covert Cloak, and that's going to stop any of those annoying secondary things. Well, any flinching and things like that are going to be a pain. So Covert Cloak can be a very, very good item there as well. Some other Pokemon that are good at getting rid of any of your threats. I'd say Urshifu. Urshifu Rapid is very, very good at getting rid of a lot of those Dark-type Pokemon threats. And it can just deal with them so nicely. So that would be a very, very good partner as well. So like Calyrex, Indeedee, a female, and Urshifu. Good, very, very good team synergy there too. And Incineroar would be a great one too on that team. So just with its Intimidate ability and Parting Shot, that would be very, very good too. Trying to think of some other good ones. Any other physical attackers? You could a Rillaboom wouldn't be too bad on there either. Sort of cover. So you got sort of almost a team built there if you want to try that out. Very, very good team for sure. Very, very sweaty, right? If you want to play super, super competitive, that would definitely be the way to go there. Any more stuff I can say here? I'm trying to think. So we've done some teammates. How about we do a couple of counters? So I've already mentioned Farigiraf. Farigiraf actually is quite a good counter as well. For Calyrex, because it's very bulky and it's got normal and psychic type as well. So that's actually not a bad counter. Any Pokemon that has Sucker Punch is going to be any Pokemon with Sucker Punch is going to be a very, very big threat because that one-shots Calyrex all the time. Virtually, it's going to force. Let me give a good example. What would be a good example? Champao, right? Champao would be a very good example here. So Sucker Punch is going to absolutely destroy Calyrex in one shot. So Calyrex either is forced to Terra or it's relying on an item like Focus Sash or something like that, right? It's very, very a very good counter. So there's a lot of legendaries, if you're playing legendary stuff, that do get Sucker Punch too. One notably that's, I don't think, this isn't in the game at the moment, but Yvantal's very, very good with Sucker Punch to get around there. That's a very good Pokemon, if that ever comes back in the game. And another good support Pokemon too. I know it's not in the game either. I just want to mention these because they ever come back in the game. It's Tapu Lele, right? That would make a nice support Pokemon alongside Calyrex too. Just thought I'd mention them. I know they're not in the game, but maybe if you're watching this in future and it's back in the game, you can, give those a try. But I thought I'd mention those ones because they are, pretty damn good. What do we got here? Zacion's another good counter. Zacian Crown with Behemoth Blade is going to demolish that. It's able to live unboosted Astral Barrages as well. So that's another good counter there. And we've sort of mentioned that Dark type Pokemon. Any priority moves too. So yeah, I think that's pretty pretty straightforward, right? Let's have a look at some little bit more gimmicky sets now. If you've got any other sets, put them below, of course. So this is a pretty fun set. I've got a couple of fun sets we can look at now. So this one's like a sun team. So I thought maybe you could put Calyrex on a sun team. I noticed it actually gets the move Growth, which is pretty cool. So it gets an attack and special attack boost in the sun. And if it's in the sun, it's actually a +2 in attack and special attack. So you could potentially make this into a mix attack. And I thought, well, I'll give it Terra Blast Fire because it's in the sun, right? That's going to be nice. I've got Astral Barrage in there, of course. Very, very good move. And I gave it Solar Blade. So I thought that'd be cool, having a grass type move. You've got a nice high base power, and it's going to charging straight away. And with a +2 in attack from Growth, it actually is going to hit, for a reasonable amount of damage. You could adjust that if you wanted to give it max attack, but since there's so many, there's so many special attack boosts, yeah, you could go for that. This is going to be more of a gimmicky fun set, though. So you can obviously see that. So it's a max attack and max speed and naive nature. And I put Expert Belt on there too, so we get those a little bit of extra boost on super effective attacks, doing 1.2. So a bit of a fun set there if you want to try it out in the sun, maybe. Could be something a little bit different. And of course, we've got a couple of Hypnite specials here. So we've got the first one. This is going to be a physical Calyrex. So this is going to be setting up a Psychic Terrain. And we've got Spell Tag on there. Actually, Spell Tag isn't that... is another good alternative, even if you're running Sweat or competitive, right? However you want to call it. You could give this to Calyrex instead of a Life Orb too. Say if another Pokemon's got a Life Orb on your team, this isn't all that bad too, and it can make the opponent think maybe you've got a Sash or something, but you don't. So Spell Tag boosts up the Ghost power. In this case, I'm using on a physical set, so we've got 90 base power, and we're gonna be hitting super hard with that one. And we've got Zen Headbutt for Psychic Terrain for some flinches. And we've got Growth to boost up its attack as well. So there you go, Terra-type Psychic. We're going to be spamming lots of flinches, and I gave it Jolly Nature too. Probably the only person that's going to run Jolly Calyrex. But yeah, a little bit of a fun one. Another one I had here was pretty funny as well. This was another gimmicky set that I came up with. It was really funny. I noticed on the physical side, it got bullet seeds. So it's like, oh, what about a loaded dice set, right? So we could do loaded dice, Calyrex, and we'll do like grass on. I did like grass, and I did like Growth to boost up its attack. And then I had like some other things. I think I put Zen Headbutt on there as well. So yeah, I had this cool Calyrex set. For some reason, it does get body press as well, which is pretty funny because it's not exactly what you call a Pokemon that really weighs a lot, right? So I did this fun set here with Calyrex. It wasn't very good, but it was fun to use. And yeah, I had a Bullet Seed loaded dice set with Terra Grass. So there you go. I think I actually got a couple of Pokemon. Like I had I came across a Swampert and a Quagsire, and I absolutely demolished them with this. It was really, really funny. So a beautiful Hypnite special there. Let's have a look at Calyrex's moves. That's the final thoughts on it. Obviously, it's a very, very good Pokemon. I don't know. Would you guys like to see... I'm going to do all the Pokemon anyway, right? But should I do one on Glacier and Spectra? Is there any point? Is there really any point to using Spectra instead of Calyrex? Really? Like, give me some good reasons. Apart from... I'm trying to think if it maybe item, or I'd say maybe like Psychic and Ghost, maybe changing its typing. So Spectra is like, I'm not going to do a Spectra. Spectra is just Ghost, I guess. I mean, that's the only, I'm trying to carve out a niche here for it. Maybe it's just being Ghost type. That could be different. I don't know. I might do one later on, but I won't touch on them at the moment. Of course. So we got Calyrex. And yeah, we'll check out its moves. So we got Agility. It does get Baton Pass as well. Interesting. It actually gets quite a few moves and quite a few support style moves too, which is rather interesting. So we got Carmine Curse, Disable. Encore is another good move on it too. Encore can be interesting. It does get Haze. It also gets Leech Seed. I'm guessing it gets a lot of these grass moves from normal Calyrex as well. So I'll probably cover one on normal Calyrex too, but I doubt many people use normal Calyrex. Nasty Plot, we've gone over that. It does get some other cool stuff like Heal Pulse. You know what? Let's do a fully support Calyrex set. I'm going to do that. So Heal Pulse. Another good move it gets is Pollen Puff. for doubles, let's do like support style Calyrex. So we'll go max speed. I'm making this one up on the spot, right? I'm making it fully up on the spot. How about we go covert cloak on that? So pollen puff is pretty cool. So if you target the ally, it actually heals 50% of the health, which is kind of nice. So we got that. We got that. Pollen puff. How about we go? I'll put astral barrage on there as a last move, so it actually can do a bit of damage. And then we'll go. Let's have a look here. We have. Ooh, and it gets Trick Room as well, so it's going to be interesting Trick Room one. So I think it's Helping Hand. I'm pretty sure it gets Helping Hand. Yeah, it gets Helping Hand as well. There you go, a supportive. I feel like I go all-round bulk in that. I don't know, like... Yeah, I could go absolute all-round bulk in that. So max speed and max health, Timid Nature. And we've got a Heal Pulse, healing the ally up there. Pollen Puff as well, Helping Hand, and Astral Barrage. This was some damage there. And you might still be able to get some... You could go like Terra Normal on this. That wouldn't be too bad. Like defensive Terra Normal, or maybe Fairy. That could work. But just trying to come up with some different sets already than that have already been done, you know? So that's something that you could go for there. I'm just trying to think of some other stuff here. Let's have a quick look. I always like to look through absolutely everything. I think we mostly had a look at its status move. Yeah, that's most of the status moves. Look, it does get Trick Room, but I don't think there's much point in using it unless you just... I don't think so. And it also gets Metronome too, so very, very nice. Let's have a look at its special moves there. So it gets some special moves. So we've gone over Astral Bras, Dark Pulse. Draining Kiss is actually kind of... I actually quite like Draining Kiss on Calyrex. Terra Fairy Draining Kiss. I like it. It's good. And Draining Kiss and Giga Drain is not a bad combination. Astral Barrage and say Nasty Plot, or just all four of those moves. That could be, pretty nice. It does get stored power, but I don't know. You're going to need a lot of boost there for it to be, outclassing any other psychic move you got. So I don't think that's much needed. It's probably only going to be good at the end of the battle. Doubles, you could go for something like Snarl and Throat Spray if you really wanted to get a special attack boost, but I think that's outclassed by its other movesets. And then, of course, the Mighty Physical. For some reason, it gets Body Press. Is this even, possible to do a Body Press set on this? Oh, my goodness. Let's try it. Pimp Knife Special here. Got a lot of Pimp Knife Specials here today. So, actually gets a little bit more defense than what I thought. So, we got Body Press. Hell yeah. And, yeah. So, if you want to go for a Body Press, look at that. Look at that fat defensive stat of 80. That would take them steel types off guard. Really would take them off guard. But yeah, there's his physical moves if you want to try it out. I did one already. I did like a Bullet Seed one that was pretty cool. It also gets Stomping Tantrum. I guess it's a few of those horse style moves you could possibly have there. But overall, Calyrex Shadow Rider is a brilliant Pokemon. You could slot that onto any team, singles, doubles, whatever rule set you want to play. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Biggest weaknesses is Psychic or Ghost typing, or any Choice Scarf users as well. Like fast Choice Scarf users are going to be able to outspeed it if it's not running a Choice Scarf, of course, itself. Even an opposing Calyrex Shadow is a counter as well, depending on what that usually forces you to Terra. So that's interesting sort of stuff there. We might do Calyrex Ice Rider, or the Ice, after this. Might as well get them both done today. And hope you liked it, people. If you did, drop a like there, leave a comment. Tell me what other Pokemon you'd like to see. I'm up for doing any sort of Pokemon, any sort of fully evolved Pokemon at the moment, or Legends. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.